Mr. Chair, it's interesting just to note just how broken this place can be if you're looking at it from the other side of the House. Because all we hear from the debate from the other side of the House is anyone who doesn't have a job needs to be completely mollycoddled, can never be encouraged to stand on their own 2 feet. To ask them to do anything at all to assist in their own situation is being harsh and mean and is the only province of the right. We look, for instance, at the speech from the former speakers who have made the point that we apparently, on this side of the House, are apparently stigmatising those who are out of work. Well, let's have a little look at stigmatisation, because what we know about people on the other side of the House is this. They need people to be poor and pissed off so they will continue to vote Labor. They can't afford to have people who are poor but have aspirations of doing better for themselves and their families because they're afraid that when they do, they will realise the big fault of their electoral history is keep putting and returning back to power that party over there who was in government for 9 long years and never increased the abatement rate at all. They did nothing for those people, encouraging them to go out and do what little they could in the time that they had available to increase their money supply, their income into their household, even just a little bit. The other thing they're really good when it comes to stigmatisation is to look for anyone who works for MSD and says they are evil. They look at those people who work for MSD and they say they don't care, they don't listen, they won't speak and they will never do anything for those people they come across. Well, I go into my MSD offices on regular occasions and I speak and my office staff speak and advocate for those people who need assistance, and I find people who are willing to help, people who care about their clients and who work hard to encourage them to enhance their own situation, but not on their side of the House. What they want to do is they want to relegate these people. They want to relegate them into believing that there is nothing they could and nothing they should do to enhance their situation. And what we know is this, that one thing that encourages self-esteem, that encourages the aspirations of those around them is a job. And so what do we hear from the other side of the House? There are no jobs. There are no jobs. And so just because it suits the Labor Party to say there are no jobs, people should not bother looking for a job. They should not present for an interview. If we listen to the last speaker, apparently they've got no clothes they could wear to an interview, nothing they could ever wear along to a job, because life on the benefit is absolutely so poor and so terrible. Well, I don't aspire to be on a benefit. My children have aspired to be on a benefit at times, and they have done their damnedest not to go there. But the point is this. These people do care. These people who want to get out and get a job, they do find the wherewithal to do it, and we should do everything we can to encourage them. And they know, those people on the other side of the House know, that there is nothing in this legislation that penalises somebody who tries to get a job and can't get one. There is absolutely nothing that prevents that person from presenting for a job and getting it. What we find on the other side of the House is this. Much as they talk about work and jobs, they undervalue the aspiration and the enhancing people's lifestyles by working. They do that constantly, because the message that they give out time and time and time again is there is no work. Well, there is work. In some places it is difficult to find, but it is there. And, you know, we have a history in this country. If you need work, you travel to find it. Maybe you need to move address, but we could never do that. On that side of the House, that would be the most terrible thing that anyone could ever do. And yet, in all our family trees, we look at those people who at one time or another have changed their situation so they can find work. They have retrained, or they have travelled, or they have moved house, or they have done something to get work, and they have benefited from it. And it's difficult to find. It's very, very difficult to find current stats. But what we know is not too long ago we knew this, that the average income of a sole person household was $16,900. $16,900. Mr Chair, just to finish off, Mr Chair, anything we can do to encourage the aspiration of people in need of work to get out and find work, to encourage those young lives who live within their care and those people who live in those communities to see people better themselves is a very good thing. The fact that we have aspirations for those people, we want to see them do well, and we're going to give them an incentive to do that side of the House took 9 long years not to do, is actually an enhancement of this party's policy and an indictment on theirs.
The Honourable Steve